Welcome back to the Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Avengers Doomsday directors the Russo Brothers shared a cryptic Instagram post showing the set for the film with the caption, "Look hard," uploaded to the director's Instagram account. Clearly, this was meant as a callback to their September 2018 post for Avengers Endgame, but that was before the fourth movie, the follow-up to Infinity War, had publicly announced its title. So that post was, in effect, designed to get fans to wonder what the next movie's title would be. In this case, we already know that the fifth movie will be called Doomsday, so what are we supposed to look hard at in this photo? Or is there some other kind of deeper meaning that we're missing? Within seconds of this posting, my mentions blew up with people ordering me to make sense of this, so challenge accepted.
It's like I was made for this.
Seriously though, I do think I figured it out. Hey, subscribe to our new awesome horror channel, The Witching Hour. It's gonna have weekly video essays about classic horror films. I'm gonna go full Mephisto over there, so subscribe and join me and others from New Rockstars in the live premiere of our very first video essay tomorrow, Wednesday, October 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, here's the image we're gonna break down. It was posted on the Russo Brothers Instagram account on the morning of Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. In this photo, if you look closely, you can see Joe Russo sitting on the Doomsday soundstage in London, facing to the left. That means this photo is probably taken by Anthony Russo. We know the production of this film has wrapped, so everybody has gone home. These sound stages are empty. It's just the Russo brothers walking around, but maybe this photo was taken weeks ago and only posted now. I actually think I figured out the timeline of all this. Why am I so focused on the timeline? Well, this was posted on September 30th, almost 7 years to the day of the Russo brothers' September 19th, 2018 post. That post showed Joe Russo in the same exact type of chair and position on that movie's set in the Atlanta area. In that instance, it was a few months after Avengers Infinity War came out. It was like 1 month after the Blu-ray released with the directors and the screenwriters' commentaries that revealed additional insights about what the fourth movie would be. But at this point, we still did not know the title of the fourth film. Many speculated it could be Avengers Endgame, but back in May and June of 2018, when the Russos were asked if the word of the title of the fourth film had been spoken out loud by any character at any point during Infinity War, the questioner, referring to Doctor Strange's line, "We're in the Endgame now" in Infinity War, the Russo brothers said no to that. But when they posted this photo in September 2018, a lot of us assumed that they had been lying or maybe mistaken earlier in the summer. And as we squinted hard at this photo and all the flats and the ladders and the angle of the tilt of the blue screen wall and other strategically placed furniture and rigging, we kind of were able to make out the word Endgame, or at the very least an A and an E in there. But whatever the Russos meant by that, the official confirmation of the title of the fourth film did not come until December 2018, when Marvel Studios released its first teaser for the fourth film, a teaser that ended with the title reveal of Avengers Endgame. Yeah, it's pretty wild to remember that we did not know that the title of the movie would be Avengers Endgame until just 4 months before the film's release. So what are the differences between that and this new September 2025 look hard photo for Avengers Doomsday? Well, once again, Joe Russo is seated in what looks like the same chair, whereas before he had a laptop, now it looks like he's on a smartphone. The tilted flat to the left of him does kind of make an A shape, but then from there, the pieces of tape on the curved blue screen wall could really allow you to draw lines however you want to make any letter. Same goes for that pyramid-shaped top of the Video Village tent behind Joe Russo, and then the metal rigging to the right. You could easily write AVX in here to imply Avengers versus X-Men, which is something that we all kind of already know from that March 26th casting announcement that included many of the Fox-era X-Men returning: James Marsden, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alan Cumming, Kelsey Grammer, Rebecca Romaine. Also, that metal rigging on the upper right could, if you squint really hard, turn into the metal mask of Doctor Doom. Also, we already know what that looks like from the Fantastic Four First Steps post-credit scene. So, what makes this news? Why is it important? Why are the Russo brothers saying look hard right now? And with this, well, there is one intentional choice with this set arrangement that we have to acknowledge: the crane-mounted studio light directly in the center of the image, and then it's pointed to the right at this particular part of the rigging on the right, which tells us that there must be something about this rigging that the Russo brothers are trying to get us to look hard at. This doesn't show up when you overly brighten the image, because now suddenly everything becomes bright. They want us to look at this image with this particular lighting in black and white. That is the one thing they're highlighting here. Could it be the little metallic X's that brace each section of it? Or is it these three thin vertical beams that look particularly illuminated? Based on what we know and what we don't know, or hasn't yet been confirmed for Avengers Doomsday, I think what the Russos are trying to highlight here with this light is something that looks like the three adamantium claws of Wolverine. Like, if you take this whole image as a whole, as if it's kind of a tableau telling us a story, it seems like the story of this image is Joe Russo sitting in his cozy director's director's chair, and then a light bulb turning on above his head, and then just to the side of that, a kind of thought bubble that he's creatively conceiving, and that thought is snicked. I don't think it's just a message to us to look hard at the photo. It could be a double meaning, that the metal of these 3 vertical lines looks hard, as in adamantium. And then maybe there's like a kind of gross joke that Deadpool might make about what type of effect that type of confirmation would have on people who learn this information. Halloween will be here soon, and that means we're allowed to eat candy whenever we want until November shows up. Trust me, it's a rule. If you're craving a sweet treat that's more exotic than whatever's by the register at your local supermarket, then you should check out today's sponsors, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. Tokyo Treat is a fun and exclusive monthly snack box packed with Japan's coolest and craziest treats. Each month you'll get a rare Kit Kat flavor, limited edition chips, noodles, and the latest treats shipped worldwide from Japan straight to your door. So each box includes a little cultural booklet featuring snack descriptions, allergen information, fun insights about Japanese culture, and some detail about the month's theme. This month's theme is Snacktacular Halloween. It's super fun each year because Japan gets a ton of limited edition Halloween snacks like Creep and Crispy Corn Bites, Ghoulicious Garlic Chips, Halloween Custard Cake, and Tobacco Trick or Treat Biscuits. But the thing I'm most excited about are these apple pie Kit Kats. Oh man. Can they just make all Kit Kats this, please? This is like a good baseline Kit Kat. Oh man. Yep. Ah, this is Halloween. This is Halloween. It's so sweet, but you do get an apple flavor. It really is just like biting into the sweetest piece of apple pie you've ever had. And if you're interested in more traditional Japanese snacks like mochi, wagashi, and Japanese tea, then also check out their sister box, Sakurako. For more traditional autumnal snacks from Japan, check out Sakurako. This month's Sakurako also allows you to experience Japan's Koyo, or fall colors, and Nico with its own fall seasonal box. This month's includes a super cute furoshiki cloth with a cat design on it. So get spooky with limited edition Halloween snacks and fall seasonal favorites anywhere in the world with this month's Tokyo Treat and Sakurako boxes. If you've been craving real Japanese snacks or looking for a perfect gift, you can use my code New Rockstars to get $5 off your first box. Order now to get your box in time for an extra special Halloween. Big thanks to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring this video. Of all of the X-Men and returning MCU characters confirmed for this movie, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine has not yet, as of this taping, been confirmed to be in the cast. But given how much Deadpool and Wolverine in the 2024 film seem to work to set up Avengers Doomsday, the fact that we haven't gotten a confirmation for Wolverine comes as a bit of a surprise. Like there were the settings of the TVA in the Void, going from small screen Disney Plus show elements on the Loki series to big screen, big boy Marvel Studios plot elements that the studio clearly wants moviegoers to be familiar with. Specifically last year, I broke down how Ryan Reynolds' original concept for that movie was for this realm to probably be development hell, a kind of meta joke about the film industry and how some franchises and spin-off ideas just get shelved indefinitely and they never see the light of day. But then Kevin Feige pitched that the Deadpool and Wolverine team should just make this setting the Void from the Loki series, which is why Ryan Reynolds seemed to struggle creatively a bit with the logic of the Void in that film, but it ultimately seemed to be a choice in order to do some franchise world building going into Avengers Doomsday. Marvel Studios showed us the cards here by including the comic book of Secret Wars #5 with Dr. Doom on the cover, not just in the movie, but on the ground beside Deadpool in the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, all the way back in February of 2024. So you have that, plus the fact that that movie introduced the concept of anchor beings to the MCU, beings whose deaths trigger the death of the universe they live in, which seems to be an important plot point for Doomsday, and probably part of the reason Dr. Doom kidnapped young Franklin Richards in that Fantastic Four post-credit scene. So this, plus the confirmation that Channing Tatum's Gambit is also returning from Deadpool and Wolverine to Avengers Doomsday, meaning we're gonna see who rescued him with that sling ring portal from the Void in the fuller version of his post-credit scene appearance, suggests that there's definitely a path for Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine to return in Avengers Doomsday. By the way, Channing Tatum had a pretty fun quote about what to expect from Doomsday to Entertainment Tonight while promoting Roofman.
We know that Doomsday has officially wrapped, right? Yes. What are we gonna get from this? Like, what's the scope? Can we even wrap our brains around the scope of this?
No, look, they set up a bar for themselves every movie, and they beat it every single movie. And I can tell you this, as I was reading it, I was like, how are they going to do this? Like, I don't understand how they're going to do this, and you're just not ready. Like, I don't know how to describe it to you. Like, it's gonna make your brains ooze out of your ears. Like, like in the way that I knew when Blade walks on screen, like in Deadpool Wolverine. Like people were just going to physically lose their actual minds, and like it's that, but like I don't know, maybe times like 50, because it's gonna be one of them things. It's gonna be, people are just gonna like, and just the story, and I can't divulge anything, but as a comic fan, you're just not ready. Like, you just ain't ready.
But then Channing Tatum ducked the question of who's the biggest troublemaker on set, suggesting that there's some Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman or somebody on the set of this film that he's not allowed to talk about yet. Now again, as of this taping, Marvel Studios has only acknowledged that the cast of this movie is just the 27 names they announced back on March 26th. On a tote bag gifted to cast and crew at the film's recent production wrap party, we saw a grid of those 27 characters as they'll appear in the movie, including the new looks for the X-Men characters like Cyclops, Magneto, Mystique, Professor X, and Nightcrawler, and then added to this 27, young Franklin Richards, son of Reed and Sue, in the lower right corner. But there has to be more Marvel actors in the movie than that. Like, we already know Namor's lieutenants are going to be in the movie based off of a cast photo that they took at a hotel in Bahrain where they did some of the production. Some have speculated that there could be another side to this tote bag with 28 more characters. I don't know about that. I doubt the production would allow 100 or more crew people to be walking around to their homes, to their families, to their gyms, onto planes, carrying these tote bags with any surprise castings on the other side of the bag. But, you know, for example, if Kelsey Grammer is returning in a Doomsday after his appearance as Beast in the Marvels post-credit scene, doesn't it also follow that Tiana Paris as Monica Rambeau is also going to return? But she's not yet confirmed. Similarly, Chris Evans, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Haley Atwell have all been confirmed to be in Doomsday from trusted entertainment news outlets, but were not included in the official casting announcement. Ryan Reynolds was reported in August by The Hollywood Reporter to be in Doomsday, but no one knew really what to believe with that. When other rumors began to swirl about reported fighting on set, rumors that these actors' publicists denied via People and TMZ. But if there's room for any of these people, there's definitely room for Wolverine, especially if the concept of anchor beings is coming back. Wolverine was the anchor being of Universe 10005, the X-Men universe, and since we know that universe will have a role in the story of Doomsday, for audiences to understand the importance of other anchor beings in other universes, we really need Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the film for that reason at least. So if Wolverine is the announcement the Russo Brothers are hinting at here, why do it this way? Why not announce it sooner? Well, my theory is that the Russos did want to time this post to come out exactly 7 years to the date of their Endgame Look Hard photo, September 19th. So I think this new photo was originally timed for Friday, September 19th, 2025, but they had to push it. Why? Well, think back what was happening 2 weeks ago. That weekend, Disney was going through a shitstorm over the Jimmy Kimmel controversy, which I broke down in this video, and that was the Thursday and Friday when people were really upset with Disney and ABC's decision to temporarily suspend Jimmy Kimmel and started to begin a boycott and an unsubscribing campaign from Disney. And this included some very critical remarks from Marvel actors like Mark Ruffalo, Tatiana Maslany, and Pedro Pascal. And this definitely impacted marketing decisions by the studio. In fact, The Hollywood Reporter confirmed that there was a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that Disney planned to release that week, but then that also got pushed to the following week. So the week after that, which would have been Thursday the 25th or Friday the 26th, they still couldn't make any kind of Wolverine announcement then because Wolverine dominated the headlines in other ways, as Insomniac and Marvel Games released their highly praised gameplay trailer for the long-awaited Marvel's Wolverine game, which I broke down in this video. That was the Wolverine news of last week. So I think that forced the Russos to wait until today, September 30th, to post this photo that I, at least, think is a tease that Wolverine is coming in Doomsday. Avengers vs. X-Men isn't really news. We already knew that would be the case, but a Wolverine announcement would be news. So we've been breaking down every morsel of Doomsday news, from a Disney Shanghai Lights show that shows us Dr. Doom's powers in this movie and what he might do to Thanos, to James Marsden's comments about returning to the film, to how seriously we should take the size of Chris Evans' triceps and whether our obsession with that kind of thing is even healthy. Watch all of these videos for more information if you're curious. But comment down below about what you think we should be looking hard at in this photo. And a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Marisa Miranda, for supporting us at our executive producer level. Another announcement of something you can look forward to this week. This weekend will be the first chapter of our Predator rewatch series, 1987's Predator. Yes, the Get to the Chopper movie. It is one of the best movies of all time, and we are breaking it down here on New Rockstars. If you're a member to the channel, you'll be able to get that breakdown ad-free and a little bit early. So if you want that, hit the join button. Either way, all of you will see a public version of it this weekend, and I hope you enjoy it. Follow me at EA Voss, subscribe to all the channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.